Estimates are up into the billions of dollars. I think as recently as yesterday, we were talking about 20 billion, 15, 20 billion and counting. We're going to see how the industry is trying to cope with that kind of a disaster.
That 15 to 20 billion, Bryant, is for Florida alone. Who knows how much Louisiana will add to that figure.
Actually, it seems kind of sad to say, but the money is the easy part of it. I mean, when you watch the woman like that young lady who we were talking to.
A single mom trying to make it, and now this. It's really tough.
Yeah, and there's, what, million Vicky Castellanos that are going through the same kind of thing. Right.
Heartbreaking, isn't it? I'm going to catch you up on the latest on Hurricane Andrew. It's a little more than a tropical depression this morning with winds of about 38 miles an hour, but the storm's legacy remains, and for millions of residents in Louisiana and Florida, Andrew will not be easily forgotten. At least 20 people died in the storm. Thousands more lost their homes and businesses. New Iberia, Louisiana took a direct hit from Andrew. Henry Champ is there this morning. Henry, good morning.
Good morning, Katie. You know, it doesn't seem appropriate to stand in front of a damaged home and tell you that people are breathing a sigh of relief. But that's exactly the feeling here this morning in Louisiana.
Louisiana counts itself lucky. As it crashed inland, the hurricane's mad dance skipped past the big population areas, barely touching centers like Lafayette. Signs of nature's awesome power were everywhere, but personal injuries were few. There was only one death. There had been enough warning, and most people were prepared. In Lafayette, the cleanup began early. Electric power restored quickly, roads were opened, thousands of fallen limbs and trees were being quickly removed. But in the smaller communities like New Iberia, where the storm did strike, Hurricane Andrew's legacy will be harder to remove. Roads are still flooded and will be for days to come. It will take longer to repair damaged businesses in a community where a motel or a gas station is a much bigger part of the economy.
We're all on generators, so we've been up all night.
Only one store is open, supplying water that is no longer available in homes. Electric power will be out for days, making food storage more difficult. And there is only one station where gasoline can be bought.
New Iberia was visited on Wednesday by President Bush. It was declared a disaster area. It will get federal money, and Katie, it certainly needs it.
All right, Henry Champ, thank you so much. As Henry just mentioned, President Bush did visit New Iberia, promising $77 million in emergency federal aid. In Florida, an estimated 250,000 people are without homes today, and officials say it could be months before residents can begin rebuilding. At least 63,000 homes in southern Florida were destroyed by Andrew, making it the costliest natural disaster in U.S. history. Hundreds of thousands are without electricity or water, and a dusk-to-dawn curfew remains in effect for the area's hardest hit. One of the families that chose to ride out the storm in their Florida home recorded the storm's aftermath on home video. Here's how some of it looked and sounded.
This was our living room. There's the roof. Looks like we're having everything constructed again. All the windows blew in. The negative pressure was incredible. Our ears were popping like you wouldn't believe. At least we survived that. Let's go into the kitchen, the family room. This is incredible. Total devastation. TV, stereo, VCR. So, it actually took the door frame off. As you can see, the kitchen has been destroyed. Here's a basic look at some of the damage from the backyard. The fence is gone. These are our French doors. This is right down the block from the house. Figure this one out. How you doing? Incredible.
Incredible is right. In Florida, getting information to storm survivors has become a serious problem. Millions of people have no access to television, radio, or newspapers. There is a rumor control hotline, but officials say it has been overwhelmed with the calls of anxious relatives from as far away as Australia. In other news this morning,
as one of the most disastrous years on record and one of the costliest ever for American insurance companies. The onslaught of major catastrophes this year began in February when floods poured into Texas, Florida, and Louisiana. The floods damaged hundreds of homes and office buildings and destroyed thousands of acres of farmland. Estimated insured losses, $385 million. Chicago got its own share of water damage in April after an underground drainage problem left buildings in the downtown area soaked, and insurance companies too. Total cost of the mop-up, $300 million. Also in April, Los Angeles was hit by the most costly civil disturbances of the century. After 3 days of arson and looting, insured losses there came in at around $775 million. And in June, a series of tornadoes and strong storms whipped through Kansas and Oklahoma. Total cost and insurance claims, $570 million. When the numbers are finally added up, Hurricane Andrew will easily top the list of the costliest disasters this year. Damage estimates are already at 15 to 20 billion and climbing. It's only August. Sean Mooney is the Senior Vice President of the Insurance Information Institute. Mr. Mooney, good morning.
Good morning,
Thank you for
Brian.
being with us. 20 billion, that's in total damages. Any idea yet what that winds up costing the insurance company, what it translates to?
No, we don't know, but we know it will be in the
Hear me
billions.
now?
Yeah, fading
Yes.
a little bit, but we hear you. Good morning.
All right. Well, we'll try to make do with the best we can, and I apologize for those problems we had earlier. I know that the two of you were just married last month. Can you tell us what Andrew did to your honeymoon cottage?
Right, it caught the corner of the tree right there in the garage, and it didn't do much roof damage on the house itself, but it did do some damage to the garage area. We were very fortunate.
I guess you're feeling extremely lucky this morning, aren't you, Miriam?
Definitely, definitely. I'm just glad we're both still here and alive, and I was worried about what we come home to, but I'm satisfied. Definitely. I've seen all the damage around here, and I'm very thankful for what we've got here. I'm ready to clean up, and I'm glad the house is still intact.
Pierre, can you describe some of the damage you've seen elsewhere in New Iberia as you've walked around the area?
Yeah, well, we took a little stroll yesterday, and there's a lot of wind damage where a lot of trees have fallen down. Some people have got their house hit. Other people got lucky where it just scraped the house. A lot of roof damage in our area where big supermarkets type and high schools got damaged. The roof just peeled off. We feel very fortunate and lucky, and I hear south, I hear it's even worse. We were on the west wall of the eye of the hurricane, and we didn't get as much as on the east side and south of here. It was still 100-mile-an-hour winds. And we had a little film, but they seemed to couldn't use it though.
Oh.
But go ahead.
Miriam, I know that you both, you and Pierre, went to your folks' house and rode out the storm there. Can you explain what you experienced as the hurricane came through?
Well, the noise, the trees breaking and cracking, hitting the windows in the back of my parents' home was very scary, but we survived it. My parents' home is still intact, and everything looks great there. So we've got a lot of cleanup, but like I said, I'm so glad we're all still here. And the mess is bad, but we'll get it up.
Pierre, I know you're in the lumber business. Things should start getting pretty busy for you in the next few months, shouldn't they?
I'm kind of late now.
Are you really? I asked someone earlier in the program I spoke with from Florida how this experience changed her. How has it changed you?
Oh, I tell you what, if you give me another Category 3 storm like this, I'll have second thoughts of moving north of here. Some of the family went like even to Houston, but we said we'd ride it out. I was here for Hilda and Betsy, and well, we decided to stay, and it was real scary.
You going to stay put in New Iberia, Miriam?
Definitely, definitely. Too many family and friends here. I'm just too worried about them. I have to stay here.
Your effort. The troops will bring